You're not burned out. You're still showing up. You're still providing, still solving problems, and still carrying weight. But lately, you're shorter at night. You're more drained by 7 p.m., quieter than you used to be. And you tell yourself it's just stress. But what if it's not just stress? What if it's your body holding pressure it was designed to discharge? And because you stopped giving it a release valve, that pressure is leaking out at home. This isn't about getting jacked. This is about why lifting weights makes you calmer. Let me show you what's actually happening. Most men think that burnout means collapse. You can't get out of bed. You can't function. Everything falls flat. And that's not what I see. What I see are responsible men, men who show up, men who provide, men who carry. But underneath that strength, their nervous system is overloaded. They wake up already behind. They carry pressures all day. Deadlines, decisions, expectations, and your body stays in low-grade fight or flight for hours. Now, Stanford neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky, who has spent decades studying stress biology, explains that chronic physiological stress keeps the body in a prolonged activation state, even if there's no physical threat. Your body reacts to email and deadlines the same way it once reacted to predators. And that's fine for minutes. It's destructive for years, though. And then you come home, and you're not explosive, you're just flat, or irritable, or withdrawn. That's not weakness. That's unprocessed stress. Here's where it gets real. Most men didn't let themselves go because they're lazy. They let themselves go because they were busy being responsible. Work expanded, kids needed more, sleep shrank, and the workouts disappeared. Not because you stopped caring, but because you put yourself last. And that feels noble until biology catches up. After 30, a man's testosterone naturally begins to decline gradually each year. Now, large longitudinal studies published in journals like the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism have documented this steady age-related drop. That's normal aging. But here's what accelerates that decline: chronic stress, poor sleep, weight gain, inactivity. In other words, the exact lifestyle that overloaded men drift into. And testosterone isn't about ego. It affects energy and drive, mood stability, stress tolerance, and recovery. So when you stop training, when stress stays high and sleep drops, you're not just out of shape, you're quietly lowering the chemistry that helps you stay steady under pressure. That's when you start noticing you're more irritable, more fatigued, less sharp, less motivated. Not broken, but under-supported. You can't neglect your body for 10 years and expect your mind to feel the same. You don't just lose muscle, you lose resilience. And when resilience drops, your stress tolerance narrows, which makes emotional shutdown at home far more likely. That's the trap. Now here's the part that most men miss. Your body responds to strength training in powerful ways. When you lift weights consistently, you stimulate muscle growth. And more lean muscle mass is associated with healthier metabolic function and improved hormonal regulation. Strength training helps support healthy testosterone levels, especially compared to a sedentary lifestyle. Exercise physiology research shows that resistance training supports healthier hormonal patterns and improves stress regulation compared to inactivity. And there's more. When you train hard, you give pressure somewhere to go. Your heart rate rises, your nervous system activates, you even experience a temporary spike in stress hormones like cortisol. But here's the key. That spike is controlled, and it's followed by a recovery. That recovery cycle matters. Sleep researcher Matthew Walker has shown how deeply sleep regulates testosterone, cortisol, mood stability, and emotional control. Resistance trainings improve sleep quality for many men. Better sleep supports healthier hormonal patterns. Healthier hormone patterns improve stress tolerance. Studies on stress physiology show that repeated exposure to controlled stress followed by recovery, improves the body's ability to regulate future stress. Instead of living in a constant low-grade stress all day, you expose yourself to stress in a controlled setting and then return to calm. That's resilience training. You are teaching your body, I can handle stress and recover from it. And that lowers baseline tension, improves sleep, stabilizes mood, and increases confidence. And when your body feels strong, your mind follows. Strong body, calm, steady leadership. Let's make this simple. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. 3 days a week. Lift something heavy. Push, pull, squat, or carry. For 30 to 40 minutes is enough. Add daily walking, 10 to 20 minutes, outside if possible. Sunlight plus movement is one of the simplest nervous system regulators available. And here's the rule that most men need to hear. Train before you collapse. Don't wait until you feel terrible. Training isn't punishment, it's maintenance, it's stewardship. You don't train for aesthetics, you train so that your family gets the steady, regulated version of you. There's something deeper happening here. When you train, you keep a promise to yourself. And that matters because when you've been so busy taking care of everyone else, it's easy to forget that your strength is part of what they rely on. Your wife doesn't just need income, she needs steadiness. Your kids don't just need provision, they need presence. And presence requires energy. Energy requires discipline. You don't build that by wishing for it. You build it by training for it. If you've drifted physically, you're not weak. You're overloaded. But overload isn't permission to neglect the body that carries your responsibilities. Start small. 3 days. Lift. Walk daily. Sleep better. In a few weeks, you won't just look different, you'll feel different at 7 p.m. And that's when it matters the most. Strong men don't train for abs. They train so that the people they love get the best version of them. Strong body, calm, steady leadership. That's the standard. Now, if this resonated with you, hit like so more men see it. Drop a comment on what's been your biggest physical struggle over the last few years. Share this with a man who needs it. And subscribe if you want more on building strength, steadiness, and leadership at home. And I'll see you in the next one.